New intro music. New intro music. Is that what that is? Jake Yonsei. Is that new intro music? What are we listening to? What is that? Is that new intro music? Hey, Jakey. Right here is good. Puss Puss. We got it in a damn theme song. Yes. Get that out of there. Come on, Ashley Breeze. Give me a beat, honey. Puss Puss. All right, let's start this ganda up. Let's start this up. We have a conversation. Can y'all hear me loud and clear? Can you hear me loud and clear? Let's gather up. Let's gather around. Oh, puss, puss, indeed. Oh no, they got a whole ambulance. No, we're playing some music. We're no, they got a whole ambulance. We're gonna let that ambulance go by. Rescue her. Save her. Okay, we're done with her. That was great. Let's get to the live. Everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Thank you for tuning in. This is a little bit of an hour-long live that we'll have today discussing self-love, responding versus reacting, and how my weekend went that would have caused this live video to take place. Also, be on the lookout for some more interviews to come from some of your favorite queens. American Horror Story starts this week, so yes, I will have a reaction video for that. How I'm excited with my afterthoughts to go with it, as well as Camp Wanakiki and Dragula. That's one, two, three, four things to look forward to look forward to, along with this live to add as well. So 5 things this week. Oh, honey, she's a busy motherfucking beaver. Excuse me, he's a busy beaver because I've had some hateful messages sent my way. Gasp. I've had somebody be mean to me. Shock. I've had some homophobic. I've had some tarot masculinist. All those things thrown my way, and I will get to those in just a second and discuss what ways you can avoid having all that drama and not have it consume your life as they wanted to consume mine. So, I thank you for tuning in. I know this is early on a Monday, so I'm not expecting for so many views at this point in time right now because I did not actually, what's the word I'm looking for here? I did not put RuPaul anything in the title, so it's not going to be as big of a deal, but I hope it becomes a big deal because this is a great conversation to have. Okay. Ah, Alicia, thanks for being here for the time being. I hope anybody can really help out with this because, of course, as you know, I get trolled in these lives and I need somebody to be there to control the dumb stuff that comes onto these things. Okay. So, as we are all aware of, my birthday is next week. It's actually in 8 days. I'm happy and sad at the same time because while it's another year and I'm thankful to be born, I'm not expecting anything for my birthday. So, it's been a rough journey in LA, and y'all know that. Shout out to my Libras and my Virgos right now. This is our season. But it's been a rough journey out here in LA. And I really don't feel like I have a lot of friends out here. And it's not that I'm not trying, but I can sometimes be socially awkward. Hi, Dr. Cross. Um, and people are shocked by that, but I low key can be that person because I am a man of first impressions. And sometimes I get so caught up in having a great first impression that I end up forgetting just to be a person. So, mm, I needed to hydrate. There's ice in here too because I like to freeze my things. So, no, let's start with the weekend. Let's get into some love conversation and let's get into responding versus reacting because this weekend was a testament is like a testament to me following my own advice by telling y'all to respond and not react because there were many times Maddie was supposed to pop off. Maddie was ready to jump on somebody. Maddie should have pat-tat-tat-towed. I didn't do that though. I responded, I did not react, and I was very proud of myself, but I also was a little sad this weekend in the process. So let's do this first. I want us to start off this conversation. Everybody who's in this room right now, if you're watching this later, if you're watching this now, do yourself a favor. Take your right hand, take your left one. Ooh, give yourself a hug. If you don't have a right hand or a left hand, give yourself something and give yourself some love. Give yourself a big hug. Ooh. Whatever stress you have, just inhale and let it out. Whatever you got going on, take it, throw it away. It's in the trash now. We're not going to make that about today, okay? This is not what today is about. Today is not about being sad. Today is not about being angry. It's about being okay with the drama and saying to yourself, you know what? It's not mine, it's theirs, and I have nothing to do with that, and it's not going to consume me. So that you can have because I'm over here loving myself, okay? I need you all to do that for me before we start this conversation. Hey, Elle. Hey, Louie, the 17th. Hey, Dr. Cross. Thank you for being in here, my moderator. Thank you, Alicia, for also being here as well. Emily, let's get these names out. I want to make sure I say hi to all my peoples. Andy with the exclamation points. Mr. 88 Paranoid. Happy early birthday to you as well, my Libra gang, gang, gang. CA, what's going on? Thanks for being in here again. Jaded Nerd, hello to you as well. I give you a bow, Demon Slayer tease for my anime heads. If you're not watching Demon Slayer, you're crazy. It's a good show. It's so good. Hey, Cadet. How you doing, babe? Thanks for being in here, rolling in style. Thanks for rolling up in here in style. Hey, Leah. Let's see here. Who else I got in here? Lizzie, what's going on, Miss Grant? Jake Yonsei, of course, my buddy. Love you, friend. Mimi Cherry, my other lady lover. That sounded so terrible, but I love that lady so much, so I say lady lover. Katie Milan, what's going on, sister girl? Kip Kipple, hey baby, and everybody else in between who was watching this today. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that share button. Don't forget if you want to donate to the channel, those links are provided by my moderators and in my description. That's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $MattyRants, Venmo MattyRants. All right. Corey, I may be preaching to you today because I'm in a spirit to preach today. So here we go. Ah, I'm Mac ready. It is good because it's cold. And I like cold water. They say that room temperature water is better for digestion. Well, I took an Activia for that. So I'm Jamie Lee Curtis fine downstairs. So I got me some cold water. Now, whoo! All right, so let's start with the weekend. I got curved badly, 2 times. One by somebody who has been talking to me, via DMs and text, and I'm not gonna expose them or anything else like that, but they pretty much ghosted me yesterday, excuse me, Saturday and Sunday. And it kind of hurt my feelings, but I left it for what it was because I'm like, they could have got cold feet. Something could have happened. I already knew what the situation was. So it was like, whatever. I can't take those things too seriously. The second one, though, there's been this miscommunication between me and this other individual, and we were Facebook friends. We're both from the same city. This guy, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say that, we I would see him out and he would not see me or not notice me, and I took it personally, and he'd always be like, "Well, that's not the case." And it was just like, whatever. Other times he'd be with friends, and I would assume that because of who I am and how I act, that he didn't want to be associated with me. And to be honest, that is the case out here in West Hollywood and LA in general. If no one has ever told you that, the gay world out here is extremely toxic. It's extremely toxic. You are very lucky to have friends and the people that love you out here in West Hollywood and in Los Angeles, period, because they are about what you got, they are about what you have, and they're about all this and that and the other. Okay. Now, I was shocked that this individual gave me a hug and then kissed me on my neck. And I was like, oh, I was like, oh, that's something. I don't kiss people on the necks. I don't kiss anybody. I don't do that bullshit. But when that happened to me, I was like, oh, oh my gosh. I actually felt like really great about that whole moment. I was like, oh, this, that, and the other. Not 10 minutes later, this is my friend. And I was like, oh. So this is your date. And what that was you were a little tipsy and you were being nice and you gave me this hug. And then proceeded to have a conversation with another person in front of me, asking who I was and what they felt about me. And they were like, oh, that's just somebody from Facebook. I'll just give him a hug. That's all it was. I was like, "Do I need to go in my inbox to show how pressed you were Valentine's Day, this year, and how you were mad that I didn't, like, go out when you thought I was gonna go out and do all that type of stuff?" I didn't do that, though. I simply was just like, "Okay." I just said, "Well, okay." And they were talking about me while I was right there. Now, my friend, who I'm not gonna give his name right now because I'm respecting him, but I felt like he was not a good wingman at that time. And there's also times where I feel like he'll tell you that I am not always the best person to go out with because I'm not always chipper and happy about things. I can see situations before they take place. I've already peeped game. I'm one of those people. I don't walk around aloof to things. I'm quite aware of what's going on around me. So him seeing that I'm not aloof to stuff, he feels like, well, why do you care? And it's like, well, I care if someone's in my face talking about me, right? So, the night just went really bad from there. So they actually moved away from me because I was the one that was sitting right there. And it made me feel weird. Like, I had all those moments of insecurities like, am I ugly? Is it because I talk like this? Is it because I talk about drag race? Is it because I respect people in the LGBTQ community? Because there are a lot of gay men who do not respect trans men and women, who do not respect gay men or lesbians. There's a lot of gay men, and I'm going to continue to emphasize that. There are also lesbian women. There's a lot of people in our own community that are very self hating and only attach themselves to people that fall into the heteronormative of life as gay people where they can pass and play through and they don't want to associate or assimilate with others. Exactly. I don't really consider you fem. I never did either. I never did either. I never did either. I only found that word in my vocabulary when people started to use it against me. You feel what I'm saying? But it's also like my friends will tell me, like people who I work with tell me, and the ones who are trying to butt Maddie up, they'll be like, "But Maddie, you do realize that also comes with jealousy, and that comes with people who are mad that their spirit cannot be in the same place as yours, where you shine whenever you walk in somewhere, and you feel like you feel you're just you feeling yourself and all that type of stuff, and then people try to take certain things about you and amplify it to a negative level to make you feel bad about yourself, which is the truth. It is the absolute truth. Absolute truth. People do that all the time, and it's sort of a way of them deflecting their anger and insecurities onto you. And I unfortunately get that more often than not because of what I do with YouTube. But that night I'm speaking of, I believe, that was Saturday or Friday night. Yeah, it was Friday night because Saturday I actually spent time with some friends and I had a really good time. But Friday night that was really bad. Now Sunday, y'all know I wanted to go out. I wanted to have a good time in West Hollywood. I felt like, my friends would be open and available, but everybody was kind of working or doing something. So I was just like, I gotta go. I gotta go. I asked my ex to also accompany me. He wasn't feeling it either. I should have taken it as a sign. He was like, "No, I'm not feeling it right now. I just want to stay at the house." So I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go by myself." And I normally don't go by myself because my thoughts can be my own worst enemy, and I don't like being in public situations where I'm by myself where anything can happen because I know me, and I know if somebody touches me the wrong way or does something crazy, this right hand right here, it don't look like a lot with this wrist, but this, I'll pop somebody, and it's not going to be a light hit. It's stuck. Um, but I'm not that guy anymore, so I became nervous. Anywho, I go to the chapel, I get a drink. I see somebody who has later on hit me up on a dating app because I'm back on dating apps again. I've opened myself back up to, talking to others again on that level after my breakup. And I am now learning where to keep myself in the online dating atmosphere and perspective. So if somebody hits me up, and you may have seen me on here, and you're like, "Hey, Maddie, I watch your show. It's just nice to see you out and about." Thank you. I love you. I give you all of that. And I appreciate everything that you do, right? I so appreciate that. Um, but others I have gotten in my inbox to go, "Oh, you're that annoying gay guy who does drag race stuff. You sound like an FAG and, whoop de whoop 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 and all that type of stuff." I get them and they're blocked or swooped to the side or whatever, whatever. And you go about your business. Yeah, I get a lot of I get at least once a week there's going to be somebody that is attacking me on some sort of personal level for some odd reason. I don't know what happened. Maybe their butt itches. Maybe they don't wipe correctly. I don't know. There's wet wipes for that, people. If you have a little extra something downstairs and the stuff is too dry for you, they have wet wipes for those things. I can't tell you why they're mad. It's not my journey to know why they're mad and to then ask them, "Why are you mad at me?" No, you're mad at me for whatever you're going through, and that has nothing to do with me. So you can take all that anger, you can go on somewhere else. Real tea. Oh, it's on sale everywhere, Dr. Cross. I had to buy some yesterday. Cottonelle. They're not sponsoring this video, but they're on sale right now at most locations. Because I got it at some grocery store that's overpriced out here. I ain't gonna tell you what it is. Mm. Oh, that was a good swig. Point of the story. I walked past a couple people who are very attractive. I was feeling them. I was like, okay. A couple people gave me a little look aside. So you know how it is when you're walking somewhere and someone give you that, and it's which like, don't give me that look. I'll show you a good time. Don't play with me. I know how to do the splits and then some. Don't play with me. But I'm walking and I'm looking for a spot to go to. Now, Trunks is too busy. I don't do clubs, I don't do bars when it looks like there's a line wrapped around it. No way. That means I have to do the shuffle just to get a little something, something. That means the service is not going to be as great because they're just trying to get people away from the bar. I go to a place to where I believe I can walk up to the bar, talk to the bartender, show a smile, and ask for my normal whatever I need. And y'all know because of my kidney, I don't get a lot to drink. I get 1 or 2 drinks and I'm done. So, hey, Lacey. So I go to, hey, Raphael. So I end up going to the chapel. Now that was my first mistake, because normally in those places, and I'm not going to shade the chapel, because there are nights when there are people who, what's the word I'm looking for? It is mostly not of color when I go in there. I'll talk about that in a second, Katie. I was born with with one kidney. My kidneys were fused together at birth. Oh, I'm out of lemonade. Ugh, the struggle. If you saw Bob the drag queen show, she describes it as this. Because of course I'm much lighter than Bob, but Bob will go, it's this. So shout out to Bob the drag queen. Her comedy show when I went to Caroline's in New York was so funny. But yeah, it was a lot of that. And of course, also people who are of color who do not subscribe to of color things. So I was in there, I went and got my drink. The bartender, of course, he was cute. Gave me my pineapple Malibu. That's my normal drink of choice. If I ever get a mixed beverage, it is a Malibu pineapple. Don't you get me something different. It'll be a cranberry vodka, rarely, because that's just, to me, that's too easy. But a pineapple Malibu, it's a smooth drink. I barely know that the rum's even there, and I can drink it like Dow. So that's my normal drink of choice in case y'all ever wanted to know, or a froze. Rose, frozen, froze. Yeah, I'm that guy too. Okay. It's normally drinks that are highly diluted and they're not full of alcohol. Okay. That's me. That's how I operate. I got my drink. I went down to the little pit area of the chapel. People are just doing whatever. Okay. I'm over it. I'm like, nope, can't be here. Not my thing, not my scene. I'm ready to leave. So now I'm leaving. I'm walking back up. I see somebody cute. He grabs my arm. It was a little nice little exchange. He's too drunk. Whatever. I got to keep moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I'm moving. I get almost to the exit. A young lady, very cute girl, grabs me and she goes, I love your show. Thank you. A YouTube subscriber. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you. Gave her a hug. She was a sweetheart. Her friend took his hand, and he was a gay white man, took his hand and did just this. Here's his hand. This is my hair. And my hair was much lower because I had it wet and it was very long and all that type of stuff. So he went to go put his hands in my hair. This is the third time that's happened to me in LA. I don't know. I've never had anyone in Houston ever try to touch my hair. But this is the third time in LA that this has happened. In West Hollywood, in particular, this continues to happen. And it's bothering me because it's from Latino men and white men, white gay and white and Latino gay men in particular, who are doing this. I don't understand why they're doing it, but they're doing it. So he went for my hair. I took his hand and put it down. I said, please don't do that. His friend, who is literally right there, right here, like looking at the whole thing, is like, please don't touch his hair. Please don't touch it. Your friend is now trying to help you out. Please don't touch his hair. Oh, I was just saying, I liked it. It looks cool. It's very sideshow Bob. What? It's who? What? Who? Did you just equate my hair to a serial killer on a cartoon show that has been on for 26 something years? Hold on. Did you just The thing about it is, he knew he messed up. Oh, girl, when I tell you he knew he messed up, and it was like, I had to really gather myself. Because he was already doing this. I don't mean it in a black way. Boom, and that was the end. That was the last nail in the coffin. I was like, "Bing, done." In a black way. Now it's a black thing. Now we've got it to this level. Now, because that's what it is, right? This is what that is. 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 If my hair was cut down low and it was a little fade or whatever, you probably would find that attractive because that's how you want your black men to look. Is the first thing I wanted to say. But I stopped myself because I said, nope, I'm not going to give that power today, not on tonight. Whew. So what I did instead was I said, okay, I'm going to ask that you never touch my hair or anybody else's hair again. I'm going to ask that you never use a cartoon character or somebody who you feel you've seen on TV as an example for whose hair one looks like, okay? And three, I'm going to wish you a good night and have a great tomorrow. And I'm going to hope that you find a lesson in this today because I could have easily beat the shit out of you. But I didn't do that, okay? I said it just like that in just this common fashion. I said it just like that. I could have easily hurt you because what you did was absolutely, without a doubt, insulting, racist, and wrong. But I'm going to give you time. I'm going to give you time to think about what you just said. I'm going to walk away from the situation and I'm going to remove that energy off of me. But what you just did, my brother, what you just did was you disrespected me. And that's not okay. Now, the girl who was a fan of the show is sitting here about to cry because her friend messed her whole moment with me up. I looked at her, I said, you have a great night. And I hope you find better friends. Because I'll tell you this right now, alcohol is never an excuse. Weed is never an excuse. Any kind of drug is never an excuse for how someone's actions are. To me, it's only a truth teller. It's only a truth teller. You're basically just getting out everything that you've been holding back. So, yes, I was disrespected beyond belief dance company. I was disrespected, girl. And I walked out that club and I didn't want to go into any other place ever again. I didn't also tell you that Friday, a particular popular queen, I'm not even going to say who it is, who works at a bar, was mad I did not talk to them on that level, which I politely declined, but apparently me saying no was not good enough. They unfollowed me and everything. Decided on their mega horn to be extremely rude and say some jacked up things, but I didn't tell your boss the stuff that you were saying while you were outside being rude to me because I was walking past you and not speaking. The moment you unfollowed and unfriended me, I took it for what it was. Miss Thing, you're grown and you're old and you're too old for that. And you're on a platform where you're supposed to represent positivity. But when someone turns you down, you can't be nasty. I'm not saying names, but a lot of you can put that together. If you know who I'm talking about in West Hollywood, working at a particular location, how they addressed me and how nasty it was. I've never said anything wrong about them. I've never made fun of them. I've never done anything like that. But this child, excuse me, this grown woman, and I'm going to refer to them that way because they're trans, so I'm not going to be disrespectful. But this grown woman, the way they just did me, I'll never forgive them for that. And now I know who they are. And no, it's not. Why are you naming people from Drag Race? They've auditioned and never got on. It's not one of them. Melanin merman, these words that you're using are kind of offensive to my trans brothers and sisters, so please don't say that because that's not how I worded it, friend. But how they did me, I'll never forget it. And the fact they were on a megahorn and the fact that they're telling people and talking about me. I've had people tell me, I've had people walk up and be like, do you know such and such is like bringing you into their thing? And it's like, I said, what? I would assume they're busy and they don't have time for that. Yeah. Ugh. I was a fan. I was a fan of theirs. And then it turned into, well, it got a little too sexual and I was a little very uncomfortable by it. And unfortunately, with them not just wanting to be friends because I wouldn't want to talk to them on that level, they stopped following me and they stopped liking my stuff and all that other types of things. And now they're saying that, I guess I'm biased because I didn't want to talk to her because she's trans, and that's not at all why I didn't want to talk to her. I didn't want to talk to her because she was a very aggressive and it was very unattractive and it was disturbing. So I was like, thank you. I love my trans sisters. I love them to death. I'm not attracted to trans women in that way, but I love them to death to where I want to support all trans rights, trans men, trans women, whatever they're doing. I want to be a supporter, and I have been a supporter. But you can't take my support and try to put it into the love tap bit. You know what I'm saying? And then be like, well, since you don't like me, you hate trans people. What? This is what they're trying to put out there, and I don't appreciate it. And I was very disturbed by how they try to blast me like that on Santa Monica in West Hollywood as I was walking by, not giving them any attention, and then telling people I'm a tease and this, that, and the other. And now I got people in my inbox about that. Jaded nerd. I don't have to lie. I have the whole, I have every conversation screenshot, so I don't have to lie. I do not have to lie. The thing about that is that I myself am attracted to gay men who are a little bit more masculine. Lately, I've been kind of dipping into the in between, where it's fem and masculine traits here and there. But I myself can say that I do like somebody who is a little bit more masculine. But I'm not to the point of being so mask attracted that I can't see beauty in others or find someone who may be a little feminine who I can find attractive to be non sexual with. I find myself saying that I'm open to possibilities with people because of the fact that I enjoy certain things like certain facial features, certain arms and chest, certain features of the body that I love and I find to be attractive. So to me, there are things that I like, you know what I'm saying, that I can switch swap with. But I don't like it when people put me in a situation to where because I don't find them attractive, I'm now a villain. That's not fair. And I don't get that, and I don't see why that has to be my MO for them. And to me, for somebody who is wise, for someone who does have things together in a certain sense, I feel like it shouldn't be that big of a deal that I don't like them on that level, but also still respect them and want to support them in what they do. Now I feel like I can't even do that. Now I feel like I can't even do that with them because I'm like, the way you just did me, whew, that was dog dirty. I'm gonna tell you this because I'm back on these dating apps now, and I have people who are asking me, "Are you attracted to this? Are you attracted to that?" Y'all know, most of you know, I like somebody that looked like they played a sport or went to the gym in some kind of way. That's just my thing. It's my thing. I also do like a little pudge here and there. You know what I'm saying? a little thickums, as I like to say, but I like it when it's all evenly distributed. Like I like somebody who's body weight mass proportionate. Like that's just my thing. You know what I'm saying? But I also am respectful to others when they're trying to ask that question and be like, do you find me attractive? And most of the time I'm gonna be like, I think you're handsome, or I think you're beautiful or gorgeous. You're just not for me. And people get offended by that. But you gotta respect what you like, folks, and don't ever be, I guess, manipulated into or made to feel bad for not being attracted to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is that with self-love, with a lot of that comes a point of, what's the word I'm looking for, understanding people's pain and seeing where their hurt lies, so that way you're not just attacking them for their feelings, or not understanding, you know this, that, and the other. Yeah, Merman, you find me too femme. I don't think I'm that femme. And then when I hear things like that, it hurts my feelings in a sense, because I'm like, but I don't even look at myself that way. But then I have to take what you just said and then I have to erase it and be like, well, because I would never talk to someone like that in the first place if they feel that way. I don't find myself to be to anything, but that is me thinking that to myself about me versus what you say or what you see from what I do. Again, when I turn off the camera, y'all don't know how I act. I find myself to be in between on certain things. I can queen out in certain moments. I can also walk through a crowd sometimes and not be touched or gagged or giggled. And I don't like rejection as much as the next person. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, with self love comes the understanding that those around you are not always going to love everything about you. And some of those people who are hurt, like they say, hurt people hurt people. Shout out to Topanga this morning for telling me, we had a nice little conversation about this. It's like they got to get you to make you feel bad about yourself. Or like this one girl did on my Facebook, my personal Facebook page. I had a moment maybe a year or so ago where I was like, I wish my voice sounded different. You know what I mean? And I wish it did, because I didn't want people to talk about the way I sounded. I can't help the way my voice sounds. I cannot help this. This is literally how I sound throughout the day. Now, when I wake up in the morning, it's a little bit of a lower tone. Um, you know what I mean? It's a little bit of a lower tone, but it changes up as I get up in the morning and my vocal cords stretch and they become what they are. You know what I mean? Um, but I can't help that. And guess what? I'm okay with it. I'm really, really great about my voice. It took me getting on YouTube to be accepting of how I sound. And whatever y'all are going through in your own world that you find to be a problem, but it's really not a problem, please do not let that to be something that consumes you because of what someone told you about yourself. The way you sound is this. The way you walk, the way you move, the way you do that. Don't let that be what drives your day, because that's what people do. They got their own problems going on. They brought that to you. Some girl was like, well, you can change your voice. And I thought to myself, she's like, you just practice in the morning. And I was, I looked at her and I'm like, can you practice in the mirror changing that face? But I had to stop myself because I'm like, why am I going to go down that road with them when I wasn't even driving the car? They were driving. I wasn't driving. I was in my house minding my business. They drove by and dropped something off at my door. People seem to forget that we're not all in the same vehicle. We're not on the same road, but we're on the same earth. Catch that. We're not always riding in the same direction, but we're all on the same planet. Those who are not on the same planet, I'm scared for you, girl, because I'm breathing oxygen. I don't know what you got on Mars, but I'm breathing oxygen. But you cannot let those, again, who are driving tell you that we're in the same car. We're not. We're not. See, merman, and that's the thing. I like voices that are a little bit lower. Now, somebody who, say, has a voice like yours, would turn to me and I would be like, I like that. But you would tell me, but I'm not liking you because you act this way. And then for me, I'm like, well, what's wrong with me? But then I have to go, it's not me, it's them. And whatever they have in their mind as far as mental attractiveness goes, that's on them. It has nothing to do with me. So I have to take whatever I had of them and I have to go away from them because they're not for me. They're not for me. They're not for me. They are against me in that sense, in that way, in that world. That's not my world. So I'm going to go to where someone sounds like that, that is not going to give me that answer, that is not going to take something that is small, that I think is so small, and use it against me. Listen, I can be in the red shorts. I can have my body can be one. I can be handsome, but if you don't like how I sound, it can take all that away. So for me, it's like, well, what's the purpose of me trying to fix something just so you can be attracted to me? What does that even sound like? It sounds like I don't love myself. Let me see here. I saw a question I wanted to answer that was really good. Well, in Arizona, just from my time going to school out there, and I can speak on this because I had a full time relationship when I was in Arizona. Arizona is on that same level as California is when it comes to this stuff. It's very, if you don't act this way, if you don't look this way, if you don't do this thing, people are, gonna treat you completely different. They're gonna act gross, and this is the majority of the country that acts this way, honestly. But my experience in Arizona wasn't good. I never wish to live there again, ever again, because of the people who I was dealing with out there they didn't give me Arizona in a positive light. They just didn't do that. I feel bad for anybody who may be watching this from Arizona. Is like, Matthew, my state is this. Hey, love your state, have pride for it. I just didn't care for it when I lived out there. I didn't get any love like that. I had a really rough time. I was threatened multiple occasions for stupid stuff. I really don't. And then I also had a boyfriend at the time who his ex-boyfriend did everything in his power to try to destroy my life for some reason. I didn't understand it either. I didn't know what I did, like maybe just because I was dating him or something like that. But I mean, he tried to lie and destroy my entire life and put me in really bad situations. And that person is a con artist and a thief and all that stuff. Been in jail many a times or whatever. I don't know what they're doing now. I don't care, but I bad taste in my mouth from Arizona. Bad taste. And I won't speak on it, but the black community in Arizona is very cliquish, whether you're gay or straight. And I have seen many different ways. If there are the blacks that don't like to be around other black people, if you know what I'm referring to. And there are also ones who are very hotep, very pro this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay. And it's almost segregated within the entire black community out there. And I'm just speaking on what I know from the time I've spent out there, the times I visited, the times I went to school out there. Yeah, it's a lot of weird stuff out there. So I can't really. I never liked. I did not like it. Now I will tell you this, Anna. One of my best friends in the entire universe lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and I love her to death. I will do anything for that girl. I will do anything for her. That's my baby girl, and I love her, love her, love her, love her, love her. And she's one of the best people I've ever met in my entire life. But and some other people who I know out there, and some family members who I'm very cool with. But I just had a very negative experience out there. Let's see here. But let's see. Let's get back into this. So I told you all those stories about what happened in West Hollywood to give you an example of responding and not reacting. I had people on several occasions try it, and instead of me going off and and doing all that type of stuff, I decided that, you know what? I'm good on that. I'm good on it. Don't even worry about it. I'm good on it. I see you. And now I you know, I'm okay on that. But personally, my focus right now is on me being the success that I know I can be and sharing my journey and my world with y'all and hoping and praying that I can get more acceptance out there for people like me or people who may be even more eccentric than I am, for them to have a little bit more love given their way and to be an advocate for against anti-bullying, against hate speech, for those who have ever wanted to commit suicide, that part too, a person to fight against that, somebody who wants to help LGBTQ homeless find homes and find acceptance and love and help people through the counseling process. That's what I want to do. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now when I get on here and I make my little videos and I throw myself out there for everybody. I do that. So, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, Sean Morales is very nice. I think I got to meet him. So I forget where I was at. He's a very nice guy. Um, Someone told you that your accent is not cute. Well, girl, guess what? It is cute. It's really cute. What is it about West Hollywood? My best friend and his husband lives there for years, moved to Southern Florida, and they've told us the community is so much more lax and kind. Um, Everything out here is about what you look like, what you have, how much money you have, and who do you know. And so if you don't have any of all of those things, it's going to be difficult for people to, give you some kind of anything. Okay. And I wasn't really prepared for that. It's also very expensive as well. I just saw a one bedroom out here for $3,000. And I was like, girl, what? Um, but I say all this to say, whatever anyone told you about yourself that they didn't like, don't take that to heart. Just don't mess with those people anymore. If it's not meant to help you grow, if it's not meant to serve as a step on the stairs to the next level in your life, let them go. Let them go. Those people are not for you. Those people are not going to help you in any kind of way. They just want to see you down so that way when they're going up, they have something to talk about while they're going up. Do not let those people in your life remove them very much. Remove them. Yes, West Hollywood is very shallow. It is, and I've already seen it, and it's sad. And I'm upset. I'm upset about that because this was somewhere where I thought, oh well, I get out here, I'll be this, that, and the other, and no, not even. Well, Melanin Merman, I might be too feminine for you to be in my OnlyFans account, so I don't know how that would work. Your words, not mine. Love to you in Southern Maryland as well, baby. But yes, you got to keep this here. Your own heart is more important. It's way more important than what some other person's opinion of you are. You got to get self love first, which is why, and I'm saying all this to say, once I finally get settled into the place that I want to move into, because I'm currently looking at subleases right now. I've had people say they're going to offer me money and help me with this who are not. Who are waiting for this answer. I'm like, you just need to send it so that way I already have it. So when they're like, you want to move in now? Sure, I can't even do that. You know what I mean? but I'm already talking to 2 other places because the first place I was looking at was a scam, and I caught that early. "I'll be out of town, you can send the money via this." I was like, "Girl, you're scamming me, dick." So I got 2 other places I like, one that is in North Hollywood, and the other that's in Koreatown, and I'm trying to get more options because the first is coming up and I need to get a place to go. But I'm learning what to look out for. As soon as someone says, "Can you mail me this or can you email me this?" And it's like, this isn't even necessary for what I'm looking for. Um, you gotta be careful of that. But I'm saying all this, um, I'm saying all this to say that, what's what I'm looking for? I am going to take the initiative on my own self-help, excuse me, self-health, okay? I'm gonna take the own initiative here, and I'm going to seek out a counselor so I can start talking about my issues with somebody who is a professional and share that experience with you guys. So when I have the money to do so, I am going to proactively seek that out because I do believe seeing a counselor, someone that you can speak to about your personal problems and things like that that you're facing, other stuff like that, is a important way of growing as an adult, as a human being, and also seeing that, where your problems may lie that don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Um, yeah. I want to be able to talk to somebody about a lot of the issues that I'm facing right now. The fact that I am a person who's a survivor of suicide, two attempts in my life. I'm a person who has survived being attacked for being gay, whether it be online or whether it be in person, where I've been jumped by 10 people before and held my own. I and also experiencing that within the gay community is very toxic. It's very trying because you're looking for acceptance in a community that's now trying to say that you don't belong when they themselves preach about bringing everybody in. It is important that your mental health, I believe your mind and your spirit should be in place. So I am going to be a person who practices what they preaches, and I'm going to actively seek that out for myself and bring back reports of what I talk about. So that way we can share that journey together with me. And if it helps you think to go seek counseling yourself, just so you can feel a little bit better about yourself, get some things off of your chest, then absolutely let's do this together because I think it's important that we as people recognize when a problem exists and not let it just exist, but simply fix the problem. I mean, here's the thing about it. Like, there are James Charles in the world, people who are hyper feminine. And you know what? While I'm not attracted to anything like that, those are my brothers or sisters, whatever pronouns they want to be used, them, theirs, and this, that, and the other. So for me, when I hear I don't get any love or I don't get anything like that, I can say, I'm with you. Here's what we can do. Now, there are some things where I always say maybe something can change that you can do, like somebody who's wearing contacts that are not matching of them. Maybe you want to take them out. Maybe you want to try focusing on what's good about you and stop trying to alter certain things that don't need to be altered. But then again, who am I to say that to somebody when that's what they feel comfortable with and that makes them feel like they look good? I can only say that that's how I feel about something, but it's not about how I feel about it. It's about how you, they, them, how they feel. It's only about how I feel when it comes to me, just like it should be for you. But in reality, seriously though, if you feel like things aren't just going they're not going well and everything is crumbling beneath you and you're finding yourself more depressed than happy, think about seeing a counselor. Think about finding some sort of help that can you can get your problems out to because not every ear is a good ear to give your words to. Not every person who you tell your problems to is there to listen to your problems to help you out. Oh, honey, one more time for the people in the back who can't hear. Not every person you tell your problems to is there to hear your problems to help you get better. They're there for the tea, they want the mess, and they want to bring it back to somebody so they can say you ain't doing nothing. I had a friend of mine call me the other day and bring up a fight that happened years ago with someone who I have chosen to never speak to again. I never want to see them again because I've seen them over the years that I've known them, and then they're not a good person. I know them to not be a good person. That's not a observation of just, whatever I see. It's a fact. They're not a good person. So I keep myself away from them. But a friend who I want to call a friend, but I didn't feel was a friend to me at this time, brought them back up to be funny. And I found that to be insulting because I'm like, I'm on a good path right now. I'm on a good place. Why would you bring something up that I have moved on from to be funny about, to almost bring out another sense of negativity from me? And that's not my tea no more. I now have to look at that friend differently because that's not my business. Watch your friends. Pay attention to the ones that answer the phone. Whoa, one more time. Pay attention to the ones that answer the phone. Pay attention to the ones that when you give them their problems, they give you actual feedback. Pay attention to the ones that say, I'm not tired of hearing your issues. Pay attention to the ones that tell you, I'm tired of hearing you argue or get mad at the same thing. Those are actually good friends because they continue to hear you always on that same problem. It's never stopped. It never changes. You're still talking about the same problem. Oh, it's the same problem. Really, same problem again. Oh, same problem. Listen to those friends. You are still talking about something that happened this long ago. Oh, that's a real friend. You're still dealing with something that we've told you about that you don't want to change. Oh, that's a real friend. Listen to the friend that steps away from you and comes back to see, are you okay? Did you get that fixed and taken care of? Good. Because it's not that I didn't want to be your friend. It's just that what you were doing was taking over my life. I have some friends like that who have the same issues all the time. I stopped calling them. Not because I'm not their friend, it's because whatever they're going through, I don't have an answer for them because I've already given it and they didn't want to listen. It's no longer my issue. I can't help you. I had the same problem though. I have my own same issues all the time. My social awkwardness when I go out in certain places. That can really weigh down on some of my friendships. And they don't have that same struggle that I do. So they don't call me for everything. It happens. It happens. We all have our own little quirks and things that we're focused on and that we're trying to fix. It is simply what you decide to do with it and when you're ready to fix that problem that's going to make you in the person who you are. But you got to take ownership of it. I have to take ownership of my own mistakes and my own issues and my things that make me feel like poo sometimes. And I also have to, accept the things that I haven't been able to change in my life that I need to focus on changing. I mean, it's true, but here's the thing, Squall, and I love that, but I'm gonna add to it to give you some of my advice that I feel on that. Like, but when you love someone, you love them for all they have and don't have. True, but you also can love a person enough to walk away from them when they're not loving themselves so much so that once you've told them what's going on and they still don't listen to you, then maybe this is the way they can understand it. That is the best time some of the times. I used to have a friend who every time something bad happened, in order to get our attention, he would contact us and say he's about to kill himself. That's nothing to joke about, especially with someone like me, a person who did not joke about that, but really was like in the path of doing that. My mother saved me both times I tried to do that to myself. We don't get those chances. Squall, I'm telling you, yeah, it's you literally got some people you have to step away from and not say that I hate you or you're this person and no, no. We're going to separate ourselves just a little bit. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to give you a few months. I'm going to let you grow. I have a friend now who I don't get to speak to often, and it makes me sad. But I know that friend doesn't speak to me because he knows when we start to talk, I don't get work done. I don't get things handled because we get into our own issues and we start to go in these long speeches. So I won't hear from him for months. But when I do hear from him, it's, I see what you're doing. I see what you've been doing. You're killing it, Matty. You're killing it. You're killing it. And it's a great conversation. Then we go back again for months not speaking to each other. I am just fine with that because I know what that's about. It Listen, if it's hitting home for you, it's because it's really affecting you right now. And this is what this live is about, this conversation. It is about it is about ownership of your emotions. It is about respecting people's own emotions and their time with you, as well as not giving those who do not really want to see you succeed, grow, or evolve the the stepping papers, because what they're trying to do is take you down with them. And I am not the one to ride the roller coaster to hell with people, honey. I'm on my way to heaven. As I like to, refer things. You can take that roller coaster down there, Miss Sister. I'm taking the elevator up. That's what I want to do. I want people to help me grow and help me move and evolve and rise together. And I want to bring my people with me too. I don't want to just see. I'm not. I don't relish in people falling. You know, I'll give you an example. Kevin Hart, we know him as being homophobic. Some people argue that, oh, he apologized. The girl that all went out the window when the whole Lil Nas X interview came out, and the first thing he did was disrespect him with how he questioned him and his homosexuality. Um, Drag becomes art. His name is Keith. He did my thumbnail art. Um, Ooh, I had a whole thing about it. I had a whole thing about it. Literally, this man did a whole 180 after going on Ellen and asking the most powerful lesbian in the world, from my knowledge, for tell him to forgive me, tell him to forgive me. You then get in an interview and you literally wipe the entire chalkboard of everything you just did. I was disrespected in that same way. Like, I watched the Dave Chappelle comedy show, and he's speaking on trans women like he knows the inner workings of all trans women and how gay people work and all that type of stuff. And I was disgusted. I know people found it funny who were also of the LGBTQ community and may not take things as seriously as me, but I personally, I wasn't feeling it. But I respect people for liking what they like. It is what it is. Now, Kevin Hart ended up in a car accident. He's now getting sued for $60 million for some sex tape stuff. We can call it karma. 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 I'm not going to do that though. I hope that he recovers quite well. I hope that whatever the situation is with that sex tape works itself out, because that is nothing to be played with. You've literally cheated on every wife you've had. Like, can we talk about that? But is that the most manly thing to do? Is that what a real straight man's supposed to do? Cheat on his wife? Because what y'all preaching is not what you're practicing. Just saying. But a lot of people are calling it karma, and a lot of people are saying it's because he did this, that, and the other. I don't necessarily agree, but it is very interesting that that would happen right after that takes place in that situation. I don't wish that man any ill intent though, but I do think it's like, hmm, hmm, hmm. You don't say. Isn't it something that trans women of color are being killed left and right? And who started Black Lives Matter was a black trans woman? I mean, but okay. 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 Let me tell you a story. So, DragCon New York City a few weeks ago, there was another convention that was happening called Circle of Sisters or something like that. I don't think it had anything to do with Quad and the rest of them, but it was Circle of Sisters, and it was a black event for black women and black men. Okay, DragCon is happening same day. Friday, no, it was just DragCon. Saturday, it was that event that was booked downstairs. DragCon was upstairs, etc. at the Javits Center. I have never heard the word FAGGOT, y'all know what I mean, said so many times within a 25-minute radius of time from me walking up and down the stairs by black men and black women to these people who were there for drag con. There were children who were also there, and of course, you know what they're saying? How disgusting. And these are straight women and men bringing their children to drag con, accepting their child for who they are, or even just liking the show, because it's not about them being a drag queen or trans. It's about them liking the show and wanting to see their favorite people from the show. But to see all that, girl, when I tell you, it was almost like it wanted to ruin my day, because I thought to myself, I would never go into an event like yours and be like, all these, you know what, and all these this and that, and all these this and this and this and this and this. I'd never do something like that. And I don't know who else would attend an event like that just to say those things. Just so happens that we're just sharing the same space. I will say in that same instance, that there were also black women, and I didn't see men though doing this, and that really bothered me. I was hoping there would be a couple brothers here and there, but I'm sure it was. Um, but there was a lot of other black women who were like, "Where'd you get your wig from? Your outfit's amazing. Can I take a picture with you?" There were also supporters of the same thing happening. So it's interesting that all these people can share a space, but half of them are full of hate, and the other half have nothing but love. That's the world we live in. Love and hate. Choose your side. Choose your side. I'm living in the world of love, okay? But it's always been a struggle for me in the black community. I feel like I'm being very open about this, but when it comes to my homosexuality, my religion, it's very, it's been a very tough road for me. Um, but it also affects me with other black gay men because I am light skinned and it's used against me. I mean, hell, one of your favorite drag queens from Drag Race did a whole video about me being light skin privileged and did it on their lives, and then tried to point it around like, there's so much hate in this community and da 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 da. I never showed that, and I was never not a fan until you brought my color into this, until it became a light skin thing. And I want to speak up for all my brothers and sisters of darker melanin. But then when it gets turned around on me, like, well, you don't know what I'm going through. You forget my brother is your color. You forget my father is my brothers, my sister. I got fan. What are you talking about? I didn't grow up trying to figure out who I am. I grew up in a black household as a black man with light skin who had to have a conversation on the regular about, Matthew, you're going to be treated differently than your brother Bobby. Matthew, you're going to be treated differently than your brother's this and what. Matthew, you're going to be treated differently than your sister. It was always that. It was always that. I never didn't walk out the door not knowing, excuse me, I don't like how I worded that. We're going to try that one more time. I never walked out the door not ready for what was coming my way. I never did. I always walked out the door knowing what was about to happen. Like, they're gonna say this is gonna happen, da, 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 and I was never disappointed. When I went to an all-white school, Woodlands High School at the time, there was only 14 of us. You can look back in my class registry and see that. I was called the black guy, but not too black guy. That's how they referred me. And I also had this happen with certain gays in Houston where I was black Matt because there was a white Matt. You? I got that early on, and I hated it. I still don't like stuff like that. I think it's disgusting. I went to the black school, but predominantly black school. The school I graduated from, the one I'm glad to have graduated from, because that school was not just predominantly black, it was also predominantly Latino. It was also predominantly Asian. It was also predominantly Middle Eastern, Indian. It was all cultures. All cultures were in there. But that's when I found out about being light skinned the most, because girls would try to figure out if I was straight, and they would say, "Well, you're so pretty because you're light skinned and do 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 do." And there would be these straight dark skinned dudes that did not like me because of that. And it was always, you think you're better than us because you're yellow. I'm like, I never even said anything. I didn't even think those things. I know I'm handsome, but I didn't think anything of the sorts of having to do with your melanin. If anything, I found you attractive, but I wasn't gonna say that because you're what? Not in my league. So it's a little tough. I know for some of you dealing with that, but you just have to remember again, I will neither deny nor confirm that, Danny P. I will neither deny nor confirm that. I'll tell you this though, I lived and breathed certain moments of my high school life, and the other moments I wanted to end so quickly. And there were a few moments where I wouldn't have been here today if I had made certain decisions. There was actually a shooting at my school at one point in time, and two people were killed. And I was there when the shooting happened, and I was not even like, what's the word I'm looking for? I was maybe in the other room in the auditorium when it was happening outside. And if I had left when originally wanted to leave, I probably would have been shot. You never know. I always look at certain things that happen for a reason, happen, and you're not there because, or you made the decision not to be there to be like, oh, that wasn't meant for me. Take it as a lesson, move on. I had some boy threaten to kill me, and when I was going to high school, that was another reason why I wanted to get out of school so badly, because some boy threatened me every day I went to school. Every single day, I'm gonna bring my knife. I'm gonna stab you to death. Every single day, I'm gonna get my brother to come to school and shoot you. Every single day. I had some guy who would stab me with a pencil in my leg during Mrs. Tally's biology class. Called me all kinds of names, and they would like try to get in front of me to like fight me and stuff like that. Yeah, like high school was rough, but I made it through. I had a certain support group, and my mom was still alive. I had like people really cheering me on. So to me, it wasn't even about me being gay. It was about them seeing me possibly going somewhere in the future and them not liking that, or the fact that at the time my dad had some money, and so I was getting blessed in those situations, and so people saw those blessings as, I guess, attacks against them and what they're going through in their life, where they could have been my friend and could have also benefited from those same blessings. Because I was that friend who wanted to invite people over and have my mama cook and us watch cable and have a good time and play all the systems. Like, we got all those things to share with other people, but then when you brought people into your world, you'd find out who really wanted to be a friend and who just was mad that you had those things. So it's tough. But my this weekend was a learning experience for me, and me understanding that I am stronger than anybody's words. I am more powerful than I think I am. And I have more control of my situation than anybody else. So when someone tries to touch my hair, or someone says something really homophobic, or I get this, you're not masculine enough to be considered attractive, Matthew type of thing, or whatever the case they may be. I have control over my emotions, how I feel, the way I react or respond, and my actions from then on. So I don't need to bring the heat with me everywhere. Now, if you put your hands on me, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but these hands ain't one. But my control, like you all have the same will and control of yourselves. You have to put yourself in a huge, you need to put yourself in a really big bubble of telling yourself, I am more powerful than the situation. I am beyond the situation. The situation will not control me. I am more powerful than the situation. I am beyond the situation. I have control of the situation. You don't got control of those people. You got control over you. YouTube being YouTube, I'm sure. But it's important that you know your own strength and that you really take that strength and just blow it up, just personify, just it's your strength. Um, but we have to find ways to get strength, and those ways can be through therapy, self love, you know, having the right people around you, many ways. But you need to find it. And if you don't love yourself, I'm not going to do a RuPaul. How you going to say you're going to love somebody else? I'm not going to do that. It's a great saying and it really does mean something. But you got to love yourself. You don't have a choice. You got to. Okay? Oh my, Katie. My teacher was killed by his wife and chopped up and put into Tupperware when I was going to school. And he was my teacher the previous year. The next year is when this all happened. And it was like, I had an A in that class. Uh, I'll never forget that. Oh, honey, I will never. It was the news. It was the news in Houston for at least 3 months because she was about to take all the Tupperware and bury it and throw it in different places. But her sister came to her house and saw what she was doing. And when she asked her sister to help her with it, she walked outside. She called the police, and the police came and arrested the lady. Woo! But the man up they had issues going on. He was a very nice guy, but apparently I think he was gonna be leaving her soon because of the problems that they were facing. They just had a baby. I think she was having postpartum depression. It was a lot of that. This was like 2003. This is like '03, '04. Um, he was the basketball oh, girl, I'm giving y'all too much I'm gonna be quiet. I'm giving y'all too much information about my life. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But it was really bad. And I'll never forget that day because they made a whole I saw it on the news, but then when you get to school, they make these school announcements about it. And they're like, unfortunately, in the most tragic incident, we lost coach do 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 do. And here's me in the classroom. I'm like, I mean, are you trying to protect the freshman class from knowing what's up? Because we all watch the news now. Like, you talk about what happened. But no, fun stories. Fun stories. Yeah, it was at Westfield, Candace. It was at Westfield, and it was one of the basketball coaches. And once you find out the story, then you'll know what year I went to that school. You'll be like, "Oh, Matthew was in school back then." Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, I was there when that happened, and it was very sad because he was a very kind man. He was so kind and he was so cool, and he was also one of those people who, what school you went to, Candace? He was one of those people who oh, you went to girl. Well, forgive me for rolling my eyes at that, girl. I lived in Pearland for a little bit before I moved out here. It's so funny. It's so funny. Pearland is very and I got pulled over more in Pearland in the 6 months that I lived there than I ever did living on the north side, south side, east, or west side of Houston, Texas. And I lived in Fifth Ward, baby. I lived over there in Acres Homes for a little bit. Uh, Come on now. I've lived in the dead end, sister. I was in the dead end for about 4 months. Girl, I stopped living over there because that was scary. No, ma'am. That I was living over there when my dad had kicked me out and I was homeless, so I needed to stay with some friends. And oh, that's a good one, Hinky. I'm gonna get to that in a second. I had to stop overthinking. And I had to move over there and I was staying at my friend's house with his grandmother. And yeah, girl, 288, you know it. Over there, listen, 288 up by MLK, baby. Right where that Timmy Chan's was. Is that Timmy Chan still up there? Because when I went over there the last time I was in Houston, I didn't see that Timmy Chan's was still open. Did they close them down? Is Timmy Chan still open? If y'all don't know what Timmy Chan's is, I'll give you the tip. Timmy Chan's is one of the most hood, and I do say that with every bit of my body, hood Chinese places you could ever go. When you go there to get juice, they don't have juice. They have red, purple, and green. Those are Kool-Aid colors. That's Kool-Aid. They serve Kool-Aid. The Chinese place serves Kool-Aid. Hood. And it's sugar down. Timmy Chim's. And I'm telling you, it does not taste like regular Chinese food. It does not taste like that. Everything's made with a gravy. It's got a little gravy or something on there. Oh my God. Baby, baby, look. I used to get the beef and broccoli because that was the only one I felt safe with the dirty rice. Woo, girl, have you in that bathroom contemplating your whole religion? And I get a red Kool-Aid. And that was my whole meal. And it was a lot of food you would get. And get some egg rolls too. Oh yeah. And some chicken wings. Oh, that was the thing at Timmy Chan's. If you lived in Acres Homes, that is special where you get 3 wings, a biscuit, which is really a greasy roll, but y'all know what I mean by biscuit, and some rice. And it was for $2.99. 2.99. That's not, you cannot beat that deal. And me and my boyfriend at the time, my ex now, we used to go get food from there because we were on a budget, and I was living that little thug lifestyle. Matthew did a lot of stuff back in the day that y'all would be surprised about. Again, you do not know me. So whenever I say I've had an experience like this is, I'm not talking out my ass. I'm talking from straight up truth. I have been in the trap just like how I am, trying to assimilate and be this kind of way. The moment I open my mouth, it would be like, "Oh, this sissy," or this, that, and the other. Whoop, 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 whoop. And then some people wouldn't be okay with it because I was doing the thing or trying to get some things done. You know what I'm saying? And other times it was like I had to fight and defend myself. So yeah, I did some stuff. I'm not proud of those things, but I had to survive. I was doing stuff. I was having to make my living. I had to do some things. I can speak from experience. Now, it wasn't like my full life. That was something to where, again, because of the fact that I came out and my family was so against me, I then found myself in situations I never thought I would be in. I found myself doing stuff I never, ever, ever thought that. Girl, Chicken Express was horrible, Emily, because Chicken Express was the greasiest kind of chicken you could possibly get. If you ever went to a Chicken Express and you didn't see a fly in there, you would be in shock and amazement. That's just like crispy chicken, or is it crunchy chicken? What was the one that started with a K? And they had those dinner rolls in there. Ooh, baby, there was this one spot in Houston I used to go to, honey. They had the best rolls, but their chicken was gross. Oh, it was always burnt. Always burnt. Crunchy chicken or something like that. But they had some good rolls, honey. Oh. Okay, now there was a question I want to answer here. Crunchies, yeah, there we go. Frenchies is overrated, and the only one I liked was in Fifth Ward because they had that Fifth Ward $5 special. Candace, you heard me say it. Girl, go to the Fifth Ward location. I hope it's still up. They have a $5 special on Wednesdays. I think it's actually all the time around. It's a $5 Fifth Ward special, girl. Get you some chicken, two sides, with only mashed potatoes and green beans, and a drink for $5. Yeah, that was the only one I went to that I was like, I'm here for Frenchies, as well as the one that used to be by U of H, but they closed that one down. See, now there's the Frenchies in the burbs that don't make no sense no more. That means it's no longer Frenchies. When Frenchies was like only off of Scott, right, the one on Scott, and then the one over there in Fifth Ward, that was when I was like, okay, this is where I can get my kind of people chicken. But once they started putting it on I-45, the one that was over there by the was it the Taco Cabana or was that a Chacho's that was off of I-45? Was that a Chacho's or was that a Taco Cabana? It was like a Frenchie's that was over there. Once they started doing that, I was like, no ma'am, I can't go to those places. Hinky did have a question though I want to answer before we get back into other stories. How do you stop overthinking? Well, I still overthink a lot. So I'll tell you when I get to it. For me personally, excuse me, the way I stop overthinking is by taking the thought that I'm thinking about way too much and just dissect it until I can no longer dissect the point anymore. I literally pull it open, and what I start doing is I start saying, "So why am I so bothered by this? Why is this making me sad? Why am I angry about this? Why?" I start to really dive into what I'm thinking about too much, so that way I can take myself out of it. Because once I put myself way too in it, I then realize, is this that big of a deal? I really just spent 5 minutes on this? Ugh. And then you just walk away from the point. I do that, or I find something else to do, take my mind off of things. Like how I used to play my Nintendo Switch. And Andy asked this question earlier. All right, Emily, have a good one. Thanks for being here, babe. Um, my Switch has not been found by United Airlines. I appreciate United Airlines social media team on Twitter for responding back to me. I do appreciate, thank you, Creatorist. I appreciate it. And I saw your message on Instagram, and I am interested possibly in doing that. I just need to build up my trust level a bit because I've already had some people on here sort of play with my trust. Um, yeah, my Switch was never found. Again, thank you for United at least talking to me. I left it on the plane. I didn't realize I left it until I got to my friend's house, maybe 30 minutes later. It is gone. I had to take my card off of there and like basically they wiped the Switch clean because now it doesn't even show up on my Nintendo account. On your account for your Nintendo stuff, you can see the stuff that your account's linked to. My name's no longer even linked to that Nintendo Switch. So whoever got it basically cleaned that sucker out and probably sold it for some money or they're using it now. So yeah, my Nintendo Switch was stolen along with the 4 games that I had with it, and that's about over $500 worth of stuff. Yes, and I was very upset about that. But I don't have the money to buy another one, and you know, I had to let that go. I really want it back because that was one of my de-stressors that I used to do with my Nintendo Switch. I just would be on my Nintendo Switch a lot. But yeah, she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. So it's kind of like, I don't know. It still bothers me a little bit. But I've let it go because I'm like, it's a material possession, Matthew. I can't let that be something that overtakes my feelings on things. So yeah. I had to just be like, "You know what? I'll get another one. If it happens, it'll happen. If not, it's whatever." But, uh, it really made me sad. But yes, back to the good stories though. So y'all brought up chicken and I guess Frenchies in Houston. That's a Houston local thing. I don't know if they've moved it to other states. If they did, I don't want it no more. Pokemon Masters is the new thing I've been playing now as far as games on my phone to make me feel good. That and Pokemon Showdown on the computer. Raising Cane's is so good. I don't know what to tell you. And honestly, if I bit into that chicken without the sauce, I probably would tell you it was under seasoned. But when you dip that chicken into that sauce, when Jesus is my portion, a constant friend in me, his eye is on the sparrow, and I know he's watching over me, baby. When I say that, wow, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh my God, that sauce is so good. I used to hate sauce like that growing up, but now I like live for whatever mayonnaise, ketchup, and seasoning that is on that miss thing. It's so good. Oh, oh, it's so good. Mm. I dip the fries in it. I dip the toast in there. Every time they're like, "Do you want coleslaw? Please substitute that with an extra piece of toast. Please substitute that with an extra piece of chicken, but don't you give me that coleslaw. I think coleslaw is of the devil." As a matter of fact, are you ready to learn the vegetables and side dishes that I hate the most? Ha 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 ha. All right. I don't ever want to see squash on my plate ever. Don't you put squash on my plate. Don't you ever do it. Don't you ever do that. I will throw that plate back at you. You nasty. Don't you put any kind of zucchini on there, or if it's a cucumber, it better be a pickle. Don't you put it on my plate. Don't you put it on my plate. Don't you put it on my plate. Mm-mm. Guess what else I don't like? Cauliflower. Ew. No, ma'am. I've had cauliflower mac and cheese. Now that was the business because cheese was brought into it. Yeah, but don't you give me no cauliflower by itself and be like, here you go. Ugh, 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 ugh. Coleslaw. Ew. What? Who made coleslaw? What is that? Why do I want mayonnaise on my vegetables? Better than no, excuse me, Miracle Whip on a vegetable. What is this? What? Why? What does this go with? I have seen a sandwich get put in my face with coleslaw on it, and I said, "Sister, sister, you better take this on somewhere. You better go on somewhere." No, I like mayonnaise on a turkey sandwich. I like mayonnaise on certain burgers, but I don't like mayonnaise as like the main ingredient of things. Hell no. Ugh. What is coal and why is it slaw? Ah, gross. Oh, just, oh, just, oh, 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 gross. Okay, I'm gonna give you another one. You know what other vegetable I hate? I remember my mother gave this to me. Right, squeals and masculine. My mother gave me mushrooms as a child. Ooh, 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 ooh. The only good mushroom I've ever had in my entire life, well, actually, I've had 2 different ones, but one of them wasn't really for, it was more of a, "Wee." That was different. Those were different. Those were different. I only did that once in my life. I've only done that once in my life, and that was a really crazy trip, and I will never do anything like that again because that was too much. I don't like to feel like the world is crumbling around me. But she gave me, like, a mushroom, and I remember I gagged, I threw I threw it all up, did all of that. Well, no, those mushrooms died me I'm no, those are the best kind of mushroom. Those are the only ones. But, ooh, I threw it all up. But guess what? I had fried mushrooms before. If those suckers weren't hitting, oh my goodness. Baby, a fried mushroom, ooh, the business. Ooh, the business. And guess what goes really good with it? Zaxby sauce, Raising Cane sauce, or any kind of like buffalo seasoning sauce like that. Oh yes, ma'am. Oh yes, God. Yes, God. So good. So good. Ooh. Okay, now I'm okay with fried okra. I like fried okra. I do not like okra by itself. Okra by itself, I feel is the devil. But I like fried okra. I do. I like fried okra. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. Squall, ain't that the tea? Wouldn't that be something we all had to start eating all the extra stuff? I'm from Houston. I'm from H-Town, baby. Oh, you said you're from Dallas. You eat pickled okra? No, I'm from Houston, honey. I don't. No, no, God. Hinky, I answered that question. Were you here for that portion of the? Did I not answer that already with overthinking? Am I going crazy? Didn't I already answer that? I basically just said to dissect it, take what you're overthinking about, spread it out, look at it, figure out why you're overthinking it, and then by the time you do that, you'll be done overthinking because you'll be like, why was I even stressing about this in the first place? And also finding other things to do to get yourself off of what you're overthinking about. But I prefer to take what I'm overthinking about and literally just lay it out and be like, okay, here's why. This is how I feel. I'm angry about this. This is this and that. And then by the time I'm done with that, I'm like, oh, what was I tripping about? Yeah. It really helps like when you just take it and you just this so did not give me what I was this so is not what I meant. I meant this way. But oh, I actually like asparagus. I actually like asparagus, but it has to be cooked correctly. If you get overdone asparagus, you will hate asparagus. But if you get asparagus cooked right, I feel like it's the greatest and it has to have a little lemon on it. If you're not eating asparagus with a little lemon on it, I don't know what to tell you. There needs to be a little bit of lemon juice on that sucker. Brussels sprouts too. They need to be buttered. Buttered Brussels sprouts are a must. They're a must. Buttered Brussels sprouts. And I want them to be roasted, girl. Oh, so good. I will eat me some Brussels sprouts. Oh, Topanga. I just was talking about our conversation with hurt people earlier in the video, love. Speaking of which, I'm glad you're here. A lot of you know that the Starlight royalty pageant that I was going to be doing with Jamar 84 as judges was happening on November the 2nd and 3rd. That is actually being pushed to February. Um, our good sis Topanga here is going to be going into some major surgery, and we want to wish her love, health, and peace. So she's Emma Mason in this in this chat right now. But if you guys could do me a favor and type out, we love you, Topanga, and this will be something that you'll have a quick and speedy recovery for, and don't stress about it. but the pageant is being moved to February. So I will not be in DC in November. I'll be in DC in February instead. Okay. And of course, we'll be keeping everybody updated with all the things that are going on. The website will be corrected and everything else like that. But please send my friend, Miss Emma Mason, on here, also known as Miss Topanga, some love because she's going to be having a major surgery. She doesn't like to talk about it, but I told her, girl, we would talk about it. I'm not going into too many details, but you send her love because that is a new friend of mine who I'm so glad I finally got to meet your sister. She was one of the best people I got a chance to meet at DragCon, and the entire Starlight royalty system, pageant kings and queens, everyone who I got to meet there, they're the most lovely people I've ever met. And I do have interviews with them coming up that will probably not be posted until later on because I'm trying to spread out those interviews as much as possible. But yes, um, lots going on here. But where else am I going with this? Let me sit back up. Oh, oh. Other things that Matty won't eat. I'm at an hour and 41 minutes, so my mind is telling me now, let's just get this, let's do the last 18 minutes. Let's make this a full 2 hours. Um, I don't like kiwi. Oh, shout out to Mimi Chariot in here. Hey, Mimi. That's my other sister. We're going to be doing a podcast soon. Ooh. Yes, Mimi, you better tell them that I may be coming to San Francisco to do like a fun, like adventure-esque, like taping of everything that's going on and stuff like that. I saw something about American Horror Story. Am I missing that? Hold on. I'll have a reaction and review for American Horror Story the day after it airs. So on the 19th. I don't do kiwi. Artichoke and spinach. Oh my God. Okay. Now, Olive Garden is a certain person in power. They've donated money to a certain somebody I don't really appreciate. So Olive Garden's been on my poo list lately, but I miss Olive Garden, even though they microwave half their meals. Um, there was a spinach artichoke dip that they used to have at Olive Garden that is probably one of the best ones I've ever tasted in history. So that's the only time I really get artichokes. And one time I got them on my pizza, and that was a huge mistake. I was like, never again. Girl, how you think I feel about McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King, Pizza Hut? I never liked Pizza Hut in the first place because they're so greasy. I was way more of a Domino's guy, and that's from the Domino's pan pizza and the thin crust. Plus, their sandwiches are really good too, and I'm a fan of their salads. They have more options as far as food is concerned. Like, does Pizza Hut actually have salads with their delivery? I haven't seen them. Shoot. So many places I can't go to now because I'm just like, oh God. Chick-fil-A, here's the thing. I like Chick-fil-A, but what I'm not going to do is give money to some company that literally donates to anti-LGBT groups. That is just not gonna happen. Like, no. Your waffle fries may be king, your lemonade may be a holy presence in my system. But I no, 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 no. I miss it sometimes, but no, 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 no. Oh, I don't know what anchovies taste like, and I don't want to know. Every time listen, it is okay. So there was this pizza place I went to in Jersey that I really, really liked. And the guy told me the next time I come in, I get free anchovies. And I was just saying to myself, like, does anyone actually come in here and ask for anchovies on their pizza? Oh, there's no way. No, there's just no way. I would want to have that on my cheese, tomato, and bread. That's crazy. Didn't the guy, who was the face of Papa John's get caught on the phone saying the N word and, like, demeaning, like, the football players and referring to them as a bunch of N's and this, that, and the other. I'm not gonna say that word, as we're not gonna give that power here today. And yet, is the NFL still working with him and they're still in business? It's so much stuff where I'm like, I would have thought that they would have went out of business by now, or somebody would have taken them down, or they would have lost so many stores. But it feels like nothing happened. Mm. That pizza doesn't taste as good as it used to. Oh, okay. Let's have a conversation about delivery pizza. Not local pizza places, because that's not fair. Because all local pizza places, in my opinion, are better than every delivery pizza place. Period. I'm just gonna put that out there one more time. All pizza places, saying it again, that are like home, like, the not chain pizzas, they're all just better, in my opinion. They just taste better. So, Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. Who else can we put in this list? Because I know some places are still regional. So it's like, let me think. Hold on. Papa John's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars. There's another one I'm missing. Y'all help me out with that. There's another pizza place I think I feel like I'm missing. Who am I missing? Yeah, I don't know what extreme pizza is. That's like what? um Sbarro's, I don't count that because they don't do delivery like that, Candace. That's more of like a mall pizza. Um I prefer the local places too. Oh my gosh, my lips are so chapped. I hate that. Okay. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Domino's to me has the best pan pizza, in my opinion. Domino's has the best pan pizza. I'll say this now, and I got my ex to like literally say, you know what? This was actually really good. If you're not a fan of Domino's, the next time you have a chance to get some of them, please get the pan pizza. The hand tossed is no. I love you, Domino's, but you still haven't gotten that hand tossed recipe correct since the 1990s. In the 90s, it was great. It was so good. But now it tastes like cardboard and it's not what's up. And then you had the flavored crust. Why did that go away? I enjoyed the garlicky buttery crust. That's when I was back into hand tossed with them again. But they took it away. So I would say if you want to get some Domino's, please get the pan crust. I promise you it's good. I promise you it's good. I promise you it's so good. I don't know what it is about so good, but that hand toss now is nasty. The thin crust I will get on a. I want to be skinny, but I have my live pulled up on a computer too. So it's I see when y'all get those little freeze moments of what's happening here. My apologies. Um, where else am I going with this? Okay, to Pizza Hut. If you're a Pizza Hut fan, you may want to leave the room now. I don't like Pizza Hut. I think Pizza Hut's overrated. It is so greasy. It's so greasy. Their toppings are trash. Have the chicken. Okay, I get chicken on my pizza. Compare it to Pizza Hut's chicken on their pizza. Comparing it to Domino's chicken on the pizza. Domino's is leaps and bounds above them. They put the spinach on top of the cheese when you get, like, spinach on a pizza, and Domino's puts the cheese on top of the spinach. Again, I don't understand why. I mean, listen, I wouldn't listen, Mark, let's be clear. A sponsor is a sponsor, but I would be one of those people to say, if I don't like something, I'm not gonna be the one to be like, "Hey, go out and buy it." Like, I just couldn't do that. I have to like the product too. But, nope, I think it's gross, and, I'll eat it if I have to. I'll put it like that. If there's nothing else there, I'll look for a cheese pizza from them. I do like a cheese pizza from Pizza Hut. I don't like anything else from them. Also, Pizza Hut's wings are trash. Domino's ain't no better, but Pizza Hut's wings, trash, girl. Brand, I'm still trying to figure out what's the best LA local pizza because I have found a couple that I like, but so let's see here. Costco's pizza is really good. Mm. No, I didn't try Ray's Pizza. I heard about them though. Alicia, I noticed that buffering. I noticed it too because I have my laptop pulled up. So I'm looking at how it keeps on buffering every now and then, trying to figure out what that's about. We need to wrap this up, is probably what they're telling me. So who's next? Papa John's. Well, I don't support them, so that's gonna be hard for me to do. I will say this though. Um, when Papa John's first came out, when Papa John's first came out, it was destroying Pizza Hut and Domino's. Ooh, baby, baby, baby. Whoa! Their pizza was leaps and bounds better. Now, what Zazzle said. Now, the only way and the only reason you'll have me eat any kind of Papa John's pizza is someone gets all those garlic dipping sauces. Because that's the only way I can eat the Papa John's pizza now. I have to dip it in the garlic sauce and eat it just like that. That is the only way I can eat Papa John's pizza now. It's the only way. I hate it. I like Chicago pizza brand because it's that deep dish with the tomato sauce on top and the cheese and everything on the bottom. It was a weird jump for me at first, but I enjoy the pie. They call it pies out in Chicago. Am I right about that? It's like a pizza pie versus like just an actual pizza. I like those. Those are good. Little Caesars, Jamar's favorite pizza place. Don't let him tell you anything different. I will, girl. I will walk. Listen, I will get a lift right now. Get to his house. I will have him open that door, and I promise you, there'll be a box of Little Caesars somewhere in that house. That is Jamar's favorite pizza. I mean, it's cheap, but it's his favorite, girl. I can't stand it, but it's his favorite. Now, I ain't gonna lie either. Now, if I only have $5.75 in my pocket, I'm gonna be at Little Caesars too. You better believe it. Honey, a hot and ready real quick to go. Yeah. My issue with Little Caesars is they don't have a variety of toppings at all. Everything they have in there is meant for you to have some sort of bacterial infection, some sort of gout, possibly diabetes. Like everything is meant to not be healthy in there. Not one thing is healthy in there. There's no spinach, and I like spinach on my pizza. There is not even chicken. I don't even think is in on the list. It is straight up poke, 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 onions, peppers, peppers, poke, 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 poke. I'm not saying pork. I'm gonna say poke, 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 poke. I'm like, ugh, can't have it. And the wings, they only have one variety of wing. I think do they get other wings too? I think they only have spicy. Yeah, that's the only ones they got is like hot wings. This is like what? Like what is this? Why do I need to always have to run in the bathroom after y'all? No, ma'am. Mm-mm. No, God. Mm. And now the new thing with Little Caesars, they got a quadra pizza where it has four different types of pizza on there. And these are the differences. Check this out. You got, I couldn't believe this. It's two slices of cheese, two slices of pepperoni, 2 slices of pepperoni and sausage, and then 2 slices of sausage and bruschetta. Like, the bruschetta made it all, like, fancy now. I was like, "What's the purpose of having the cheese on there then?" If that's the case, it said, "Well, this is the perfect pizza for everyone because everyone can get 2 slices of their favorite." Who eats just 2 slices of pizza? Oh, I'll be very honest with you, I will eat the entire pizza. If it's a large, I'll save 3 slices. If it's a medium, that whole thing is going in me. Don't say that too fast. Mm. I low key want Chipotle today. I'll eat a medium. Queen Killer, we're here. I will eat a medium, and I will not blink. I will not blink. I'm Yeah. Oh, I miss Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, yeah, a large thin crust. Oh, down, girl. We could have an eating contest with that one. I will wear out a thin crust. That is nothing. It's like, girl, can I have a salad after this, please? Girl, Ash finally won a Pokemon league battle, girl, and it didn't feel the same because that animation with the Aloha region is trash. He should have won last season with Kalos. Is that the one when he had Ash Greninja? Girl, please. I was like, nope, I won't accept this. I won't accept him winning. He won on horrible animation, no ma'am. And he won with the same boo, Wendy Testaburger boo. I was like, that is trash. Really? You're gonna let him win off of that? You will let him win when he has the Harry Potter Thunderbolts as cheek indentions? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. That was insulting to me. I was like, girl, please. Girl, please. And he's been a loser for all those years. You're telling me this is the one he wins by one Pokemon? I'm done. I'm done. Done. I guess it was to show people it's okay to lose, but I was also like, honey, he needed those wins. He was going home, and I know his mama was like, really, girl? Hey, Kitty, thanks for your donating. I just saw it, Pumpkin. Appreciate it. No, ma'am. All right. We're on the last minute here. I got to wrap this up, everybody. I've been talking for 2 hours, and we can't let this go any further. So, I will be back again later on this week with more videos. We got Dragula, Camp Juan and Kiki. American Horror Story is back, so I'll be doing my reaction videos for that as well. Plus, I'll be releasing some more interviews with queens too. So we have a lot to look forward to this week. Thank you so much for sticking around with this long conversation about self love, responding versus reacting, my weekend, things are to come, and this, that, and the other. You know how this goes. Again, if you want to donate to the channel, that's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App $, Venmo MattyRants. See here. Shayani, how you doing, baby? I hope I said that correctly. That's a shout out for you, love. Um, my birthday's around the corner. That's gonna be great, hopefully. Yeah, and just be on the lookout for my Instagram. You know, I go on there and do lives a lot and et cetera, et cetera. And yeah, just be on the lookout for more stuff. We have a fun week ahead of us, and the next week will be my birthday. Woo! Okay, cool. Yeah, no problem. Love you too, baby. Hugs and kisses, my best love and wishes to you. It's your boy, Matty Rants. I will see y'all later on this week. And remember, love yourself. Don't spread hate. And if you see somebody trying me in my comment section, I give you full permission to gather them together. Okay? I'll see you later. Bye, y'all. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, let's end on the theme music. Let's end on the new theme music. Yes. Let's end on the new theme music, shall we? Let's end on the new theme music. Listen. Yeah. I'll see y'all later.